Good afternoon. This is Chris Brecher with the Simpler Stocks free video for March 10th, 2016. As you see, it's about 5 minutes after the bell. Today was a real yawner today, unless you were a little short right on the opening. Right now we have the futures up all to 775, NASDAQ up 25, and a lot of that is from a late day rally, real late day rally in Amazon and Google and Apple. The Nikkei up about 140, crude oil up $1.78, which definitely helped the sentiment of the market. We have gold down $11. So what am I seeing in here that's interesting today? Well, let me show you something that I find real interesting. I try to find creative ideas, especially when you're in a directionless market like today. First thing I wanted to show you, and I shared this with the people on the Simpler Stocks, the premium chat, and also on the forum. So a lot of times I go to a site called FinViz. It's free. Now, usually you don't show, competing sites, but this doesn't really compete with what I do whatsoever. Now, what I wanted to show you in here is something real interesting. Here's FinViz, and you go in here and you go, I'm not even logged in, so you don't have to pay any money for this. So what you do in here, and the reason I'm showing this about being creative, put up the futures page. So here's the whole page with the futures. It's all a pretty page. This is what I want to show you. Go over here and go to the gold page. What I want you to see on the gold page is something on the bottom called the commitment of traders. Now, this doesn't work for every product, but it works with gold really well. What this is you'll see there's three types of traders: commercial hedgers, large traders, small traders. You can get this report sent to you for free from the commitment of traders. It's a government office, and then they'll send it to you every week. It just gets pretty dry. It's easier to read it this way. Usually the green, the commercial hedgers, the one you see on the bottom left that I'm going to circle, usually they're the ones right. Now, why am I showing this? Because notice that when they were the most short, last year was the top in gold. When they got really bullish in here, where it got near the zero line, that was the bottom. They got really bearish, that was the top. Got almost to the zero line, that was the bottom. And I'm showing this because this is the most short they've been now since last February right now. Those are the creative things I'm trying to show people. Why is that important? Not only could that be a bearish tell, but also, and then you take this away here, let me take it away so you could see it, is that everybody I know says that this is a bull flag and it's going to go up by this amount. Well, I'm looking at it from a completely different perspective of this could be a negative divergence here, and now the commitment of traders, they usually know what they're doing. So that's why when you see gold like this and you see it down like this today, like down $11, right before Draghi's going to talk, very curious how that works. So Draghi is going to talk tomorrow morning about maybe some easing. Well, the thing is, gold, you would think at the minimum would be unchanged today, not close down $12. So that's just something I watch. That's a creative trade that I'm trying to teach a lot of people in the Simpler Stocks room. Other thing in there, what else are the commitment of traders doing? They're not right all the time. Don't get me wrong. And they're not right on every product. But here's another product. I find this real interesting. Put up the bonds. Now, here are bonds here that have had this massive rally. And check out here of when the green, the commercial hedgers, when they were the most long was the bottom. Last time they were long, the bottom. Short, right there at the top. Check out where they are right now. Very short. So this just makes me think that this chart, this is going to go down and maybe test the 155 level. I'm not saying tomorrow. I'm just saying if these commercial hedgers are correct again, those are the type of things that you should look for. Now, what do I look for in the overall market? Well, just to let you know, when you put up this futures again, you put up the S&P, they're not as good in it. Let's just put it that way. And they're not good with a big old S&P contract perfectly, or the mini, and it gets a little distracting, but I go on the big one. And if you see on here, they got massively long here near the bottom, but they didn't time it perfect. They got short here right near the top, but it doesn't work as well, because I know a lot of people are going to ask, well, don't you use it for the S&P 500? If I see that in the past it doesn't work that great in a product, I don't even share it. That's why when I see the bonds and the gold and that the commercial hedgers are usually pretty darn good in it, I take notice. Now, what do I think of the overall market? So let's get back to that in here. If the commercial hedgers, I just wanted to show you different tells, especially in a market that's sort of sitting here. Well, what I was trying to show you in the ESs, and I've showed this on the premium side the last 2 days, is you have the ESs up here against resistance, but they just don't show a sign of rolling over yet. Now, what do I mean by that? Go to a 78-minute chart, and I want you to see this of what I mean. That you might have an ATR cross here, but after a sustained move up, you can't trust the first cross because it usually creates an oversold condition. And let me show you what I mean by that. Right here, it created an oversold condition, so you can't trust it yet. The key is what it does when it kisses this ATR trailing stop from underneath. And that's what I'm going to be watching the next couple of days in here. Now, don't forget, the first thing is I've showed this buyback chart. And let me try to get it back up here so you can see it. And let me see if I have it up here. Give me a second. And what I did in here is, and I'm hoping I have it, yes. I did this. And what this does is it shows the buybacks and just the historical precedent of when companies, the majority of companies in the S&P 500 that can't buy back their stock starts 5 weeks before earnings. Check out every time that happened how the market sold off, or at the minimum, the market didn't have a sustained rally. Now, what I'm finding fascinating about this is, and I've talked about this a lot of times, what I find fascinating is I was on Benzinga Radio this morning. So if you go to Benzinga Radio on Google, you'll see I was down there on it. I was talking about the buybacks. And then coincidentally, look at the article that came back. And I was talking about that March 18th, next Friday, could be the top for the market because the buybacks, you won't have that support. And then 3 hours later, check out what article comes out on MarketWatch. Share buybacks may trigger the next leg down for U.S. stocks. And that wasn't me that published it. This is HSBC, and these people publishing it after I talked about it. I'm absolutely just floored. I guess since imitation is the sincerest form of flattery. But just fascinating to watch this article out 3 or 4 hours after I talked about it, and 3 days after I posted this chart right here. These are the type of creative ideas we get on Simpler Stocks that I'm trying to show people. One of the keys to trading in the long run, to successfully trading, is finding creative ideas. And this is something I just can't believe more people hadn't noticed until obviously an article today, but I've been showing this for months. So I hope that helps everybody. Tonight we're having, if you're a subscriber, we're having just a free class on moving averages. 2 weeks ago we had one on the ATR trailing stop, and before that we had it on the MACD. So we just try to have a 15-minute, half-hour just free class, like an informal chat to go over these indicators. And we're building it where we're going to have 7 to 10 of them that you can just access at all times when you're a premium member. We also get the chat in the room. You get a premium chat for an hour before the opening where anybody that's on it can give you the testimonial of how well they've worked lately to prepare everybody for the coming trading day. So we have a $7 30-day trial. You should try to take us up on it. Like I said, couple of thousand people have taken us up on it in the last 4 months. And just to represent Simpler Stocks, the free and the premium videos, want to promote just probably the most amazing person I've ever seen that has done a video and done a class. Of course, I'm being sarcastic. It's me. So I'm actually promoting my own class in here. This is next Thursday. It's called Day Trading for a Living. I mean, that's what I've done for 34 years primarily, has been a day trader. And basically, I'm going to go over 2 hours and go over how to look for day trades, how to prepare your day, what to do during the day, what are the conservative and aggressive plays on a particular trade, and go on to little tips and tricks on how to find creative trades. You'll see in here that I'm going to go over all the indicators I go on that we talk about on the Simpler Stocks Premium side, but this is going to have it all in one place. Just so you know, I've been building slides for it, and even though it's only 2 hours, so you figure that's 120 minutes, you probably only need like 60 slides. So you go over every slide like one slide every 2 minutes. I have 151 slides. So it's going to be like a book. So you'll have everything all in one place. So you'll see on here that it's a steal. In my opinion, it's a steal. It's a 2-hour class. It's $97. The next day, not only to put pressure on myself doing a class, but we're going to have 3-hour live trading from 9:30 in the morning right on Triple Witching. Pretty exciting. 9:30 in the morning to 12:30. Just enough to be able to put a lot of stress on me for you to actually see my trades. But we're going to do 3 hours of my trading. Really excited to do it on Triple Witching because there are a lot of times where you can do trades right on the opening. I call them snap trades. You can sell verticals. You can buy cheap puts or calls. And it'll be really neat to set that up and show everybody how it works. So I'm very excited about the class. I hope you can make it. Like I said, let me go back here so you can see it. It's day trading for a living, and it's Thursday, March 17th. And I know that's St. Patrick's Day, but that's that's when we're having it. And the live trading is the following day from 9:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. So I hope you can join us, and everybody take care.